Yeah, I just want to do a quick video on transferring data if you don't have a backup drive large enough for your PS4. Now, what I did is I have the PS4 Pro or the PS Pro, and I had a 2 terabyte drive in my PlayStation, which is over there underneath the TV. I had a 2 terabyte drive in that. Well, I could not transfer that data over from the one to the other. Well, I could transfer it over. The problem was I couldn't. I would have to use the 1 terabyte drive that comes in the PS Pro. So, what I did is, because if you pull the drive out of your PlayStation 4, even though it's the same software, 4.06 as of 11/29/16, if you were to take the drive out of the PS4 and stick it into the PS Pro, it would automatically delete everything on it. It would initialize it, and you'd probably have to use a USB stick with, download this full software to put it on. And that's what I had to do here. I went ahead and I transferred the data from my PlayStation 4 to my PS Pro via the way it says to transfer from another thing. They both have to be connected to your router, hardwired. The transfer is pretty quick. It runs at about 70 full megabytes per second. And as you'll see here, those are megabytes. So you're talking 60, 70 megs per second. 70 full megs. Big MBs. Anyway, the trick, this is what I did. If you, instead of purchasing an expensive backup drive, because you're gonna have to have, I had to delete some stuff off my 2 terabyte drive. I brought it down to 500 gigs so it wouldn't take so long. And what I did is I transferred the data normal way from the 2 terabyte PS4 to my new PS Pro via the way you're supposed to transfer data. And now I ordered this little device here, right here. Okay, and what it does, it'll connect to any hard drive. So I had a spare hard drive, terabyte hard drive, in my computer. I used it as a backup. I have another solid state hybrid. So what I did is I took this out, I formatted it. I bought this little device for $15. I plugged it in. It has a SATA cable, a power cable. And listen, it'll turn any drive, no matter, even if it's a notebook drive or a laptop drive, it'll turn it into an actual USB mass storage device. See, can you see where it's plugged in down there? It comes out of the end of this as a USB drive. See it flashing? It'll plug into any device, and it works just like any other USB works just like this stick does. When you plug it in, it reads it as a USB device. So what I did was I took my hard drive out and I backed up, because I couldn't back it up to the 2 terabyte drive on the PS4 and then try to, I had to get the PS4 2 terabyte drive into the PS Pro first. So what I did was I backed up the 1 terabyte that originally came with it through my little device here without buying it's about $100 to $150 for a 1 terabyte backup drive. This cost $15, and I just plugged it into this, formatted it, exFAT or FAT32, and then I backed up the original drive from the PS Pro to this. Then I took my 2 terabyte drive out of my PlayStation 4, put it into the PS Pro. It actually goes into the back on this one. Comes out of the PS4 on the front. But I put the 2 terabyte in here, and then I initialized it and put brand new software on via USB stick and turn on the power button. And now my 2 terabytes in there. Now that I have this backed up with this little $15 device, and it will also hook up to, look, IDE drives. It'll work on any drive that has all the cables that comes with it and its own power supply. So now I'm restoring the backup to the PS4 with the 2 terabyte drive, but it's the backup from the 1 terabyte that I'm putting it back on the 2, and now I'll have my 2 terabyte drive with the PS Pro. And tomorrow I'll be receiving, I believe, the only monitor that actually really works with the PS Pro for 4K. Now, when I say that, the televisions work. I have one of those that's going to come on Wednesday. Actually, it's a Samsung Quantum Dot 4K OLED. It's really nice. And I'll probably do a video on both of those, on how the PS4 compared to the PS4 Pro differences. Does it really make a difference? But this can save you, and you can always back up all your stuff with this. No problem, man. Just any old hard drive laying around, usually a terabyte or so. You can back up your PS4 and put in a new, if you want to change to a larger drive like I did the first time. This is the simplest way. You don't have to buy the big backup drive. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, just post them in the comments below. I'll get back with you. Have a good day.